Hatish, what if I told you the most terrifying places aren't the ones you see in movies, but the ones you can find yourself, just a short drive from the comfort of your own home? Urban explorer Alex felt a familiar thrill, mixed with a cold knot of dread, as he pushed open the groaning doors of the old St. Jude's Hospital. For years, the place had been a decaying monument on the edge of town, its windows like vacant eyes staring out at the world that had forgotten it. But Alex wasn't here for the peeling paint or the rusted gurneys. He was here for the legend. A story whispered among local thrill seekers about an elevator that traveled to a place not on any blueprint, the Phantom Elevator. With his flashlight beam cutting through the oppressive darkness, he navigated the debris-strewn lobby. The air was thick with the scent of dust and decay, a smell he knew well. But here it was different, heavier, layered with an almost medicinal chill that clung to the back of his throat. He found the elevator bank at the far end of the West Wing, just as the story said. 3 were sealed shut, their doors scarred with graffiti, but one stood slightly ajar, a dark invitation into the hospital's heart. With a grunt of effort, Alex pried the heavy steel doors open just enough to slip inside. The moment he stepped in, a low hum vibrated through the floor, and the door slid shut with a soft, final thud. The interior was surprisingly intact, the wood-paneled walls only slightly scuffed. His breath plumed in the cold air. He pressed the button for the top floor, the 10th, but nothing happened. He pressed it again and again. Just as he was about to try forcing the doors back open, the lights inside the car flickered violently. The hum deepened, and with a sudden lurch, the elevator began to ascend. The floor indicator, a classic dial with a brass needle, began to move. It passed 5, then 8, then 10. Alex's heart hammered against his ribs. The elevator wasn't slowing down. It continued its impossible climb, the needle inching past the highest marked floor until it stopped, pointing directly at a number that shouldn't exist. 13. A soft, melodic chime, like one from a bygone era, echoed in the small space. The doors slid open with a whisper, quiet hiss, a stark contrast to their earlier protest. Alex stared, his flashlight dropping from his nerveless fingers and clattering to the floor. The scene before him defied all logic. Gone was the decay and grime of the floors below. He was looking at a pristine hospital corridor, its white linoleum floors polished to a mirror shine, reflecting the impossibly bright, sterile lights overhead. The air was clean, smelling faintly of antiseptic and starch. But it was the activity that froze him in place. Doctors in crisp, old-fashioned white coats and nurses in starched uniforms moved with silent, purposeful haste. They bustled in and out of rooms, their faces calm and focused, completely ignoring his presence. They were like figures in a silent film, their movements fluid but utterly soundless. A cold terror, sharper and more profound than any he had ever known, seized him. These weren't people. They were echoes, trapped in a loop of time. As he stood mesmerized, a nurse pushing a vintage medical cart stopped directly in front of the elevator. She was young, with her hair tucked neatly under a cap. Slowly, as if sensing his gaze, she turned her head. Her movements were unnaturally smooth. A smile spread across her lips, but it was a cold, clinical expression that didn't reach her pale, vacant eyes. It was a smile of welcome, but also of finality. In that moment, Alex knew he wasn't just an observer. He was a new patient. Before he could even think to retreat, the elevator doors behind him slammed shut with the force of a guillotine. The melodic chimes sounded once more, and the floor indicator began to move again. But this time, Alex knew with sickening certainty that it wasn't going back down. So the next time you hear a local legend about a place you shouldn't go, remember, Alex, some doors, once opened, can never be closed again.
Subscribe if you dare.